Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Big Air 01 coming at you with another video here today. Today we're going to be installing a raw water water pump in my boat. One of the reasons why I'm doing that obviously is we're getting a lot of fish, and it's nice and easy to have a a spray down on the inside of the boat that basically instead of a bucket. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Alright, I'll kind of explain everything that I've got here. So I purchased the SEAFLO water washdown pump from Amazon. It was about $140, basically Canadian. It's a 70 psi and it's for a 12 volt system, so it'll work perfect. Now the only thing that sucks is it did come with this. Not that you would really matter, you could cut this off and add stuff, but I had a spare one of these around. I've already marked it for which one's the positive side. It came with a strainer. It came with two attachments, the spray nozzle, a quick connect, and the hose itself. So I'll put a link in the description where I got it. Some of the other things you're going to need is you're going to need some hose. You're going to need some 90 degrees, or depending on how you guys are doing it, some sort of connectors, and then some tie downs or some clamps. I've got a switch here so I can turn it on and off. Some stainless steel screws. It came with some instructions, and then of course you're going to need all the things you need to do with wiring. So you got connectors, shrink wrap, and some zap straps, some cable. And then for tools you're going to need well, basically wire strippers. I'm going to use this to basically drill a hole in the boat so I can attach my switch somewhere. You're going to need a drill, heat gun for all of your heat shrink, tape measure, and a few other things I'm sure that I'm missing, but this is kind of like a hose cutter, so all my hose cuts will be nice and simple. So let's go inside the boat and see where we're going to put it. Okay, so we're inside the boat now. Now, I mean, you could run this straight to the battery and it'd be with the switch, it'd be fine. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it to my off switch. I know I haven't showed you guys this yet, but I installed a dual battery system myself with a ACR controller. If you want to see a video on that, definitely let me know in the comments if you want me to do a further video on how I did it. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to run my wires to that off switch there, and then there's going to be a switch. I haven't decided. I'm thinking about putting it underneath there somewhere, depending on how much cable I have. I don't think I have enough. It might be just a little bit short, but I'm planning on mounting it right here. Now, it says in the instructions that you want to be about as maximum of, it self primes at maximum of 6 feet away, so that'll be roughly about 6 feet if I mount it there. So, but yeah, that's I think where I'm going to put it. I was thinking about putting it over there, but there's not really anywhere I can put it without attaching it to the side of the boat. So I figured, you know, I'll just put it underneath the seat and run the lines out the back, or the hose out the back. Okay, so here's the pump. I want to explain a little bit about it first before we do anything. It's only got one direction, so this will be to the outside of the boat with the strainer attached to it, and it's got the arrow of the water flow. So this will be the end that you attach your water hose to that has the nozzle. So when I put it in here, you want to make sure that this is basically, it's going to be upside down like this. So this is going to go to the back of the boat, and this is going to be the part that goes inside the boat. So that's how it's going to basically be mounted. And then let's mount it up in there. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see it, but I put the strainer on it, but it also shows an arrow which way it's supposed to be going, so you know what side this is supposed to be on. This is supposed to be on the intake side, so basically you want to make sure that the strainer is preventing any crap from getting into the pump itself. So it's going to be really easy to attach the other side, so that's why I figured I'll attach the strainer first and then we'll mount it up there. Okay, that's on there. It should stay there. I only used 1.25 inches because these are 1 inch in total, and this is about half an inch thick. So I figured that would be enough. So next step is let's run the hose off the strainer side to the back of the boat. Okay, so I've got one of the 90s already in for the first one. We're only going to have a short little distance, just basically enough that it's going to come in here, so like this. So I'm going to cut it so it's only like 1 inch or 2. Obviously the less amount of hose the better. So, and what I am going to do for this side is I'm going to, this barb isn't the greatest there, so I'm just going to clamp it on. So it's gonna, we're going to put it in just like this, and then what we do is we basically will screw this end onto the strainer, and then we're going to run the wire or the hose out the back through this little, I'm going to cut a slot in this here, and it's going to come out kind of down by the kicker. Okay, so I've run into my first hiccup, and so what I'm going to have to do is drill a hole in the side of the boat. You guys, no one likes drilling holes in the side of their boat, but this here only has big enough opening here for this hose and this wiring to come out. So what I'll do is I'll probably just drill a hole here so that the hose comes out, and I'll just goop it up with a bunch of silicone and maybe get one of these down the road to help protect it, or some sort of grommet. But you know, water doesn't really get that high. If it gets that high, you know, you need to start to worry anyhow. So you shouldn't be out on the water. So it's above the water line, and so let's drill a hole. And so I put the piece of tape here to help protect the fiberglass from chipping. Okay, so I wanted to show you sort of a tip that I was figuring I was going to run into, but this is a 1/2 inch or a 5/8 90-degree connector, and basically it's really hard to push into this to the hose. So what I did, and I'm probably not going to need clamps on most of these because these are going to be the suction side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat up this so that I can slide this right in using my heat gun. It just went on no problem. Then you can twist it later to where you want it. Okay guys, so heat will be your best friend trying to put these on together. This one got a little twisted, but it's not quite a 90, that's why it's so bent like that, but I don't think that'll make a difference. And then this is below my water line, so for now I've just zap strapped it to that to kind of keep it, and then what I'll do is I'll just heat up the hose and straighten it out a bit. But yeah, that's how it looks like on the outside. I'll show you what it looks like on the inside. And you can see it's like I've already gooped it up in there as well, so no water will get in there. Okay, as you can see, I've got it all clamped in here now. You can sort of see it there. Bad lighting, but anyways, I got a 90 there, and it's gonna go, and I'll clean it up and I'll zap strap it, and then it kind of ends up out there. So I'll zap strap it all together, and then now what we're going to do is we're going to work on the wiring. Okay, so we're over here on the bench. It's a little cooler in here, but right now I'm going to create the power that's going to go from the switch to the battery. I'm actually going to go straight to the battery on this, just because it's going to be a little bit easier that way, and I've got a switch to shut it on and off. So basically you're just going to create the wire. So you got one end that needs to go to the battery itself, which I've got here. Okay, so that wire is created. The next one we're gonna do is from the battery to the switch. All right, so there was a reckless abandonment of this switch. It no longer works. As soon as I turned it on, basically it started frying. So it's got some pretty crappy components inside, obviously, and I had to pull it apart so it didn't catch any fire. So basically what I'm gonna do, and I think after just figuring out, is I'm just gonna have to use this as my switch. So every time you want to use it, well, once you have it charged, it's supposed to shut off. So for now, every time I go boating, I'm going to have to plug that in if I want to use it. And I think that's probably why it's that way. Because you don't want to leave that plugged in when you're not around the boat, because obviously if it is on and stays on, or if it leaks, it could leak inside the boat, which could cause your boat to flood. So you would have to obviously make sure, remind yourself to unplug it every single time. But lastly, we're going to do is we're going to hook up the so there's two parts to this. There's the we'll hook up this part here to the pump, and then this part screws on. And you have this end here that screws onto here. It doesn't have a, like it would shoot out of here. There's no block on that. So that's weird. You would think that this would have like a quick connect kind of block. If it's a quick connect. And then that goes on there like that. So this is obviously the stop. So we'll go in the water and we'll test it out, see how it works out. Okay. So right now we're out on the water. Lines are in the water. Let's see if we can't catch a fish here. And you can see I've got it hooked up right there, and I don't have it hooked into each other yet. The floor is still clean, so I want to get a nice slimy fish in here and then see how well it cleans it. All right, we got one fish on right now. Little man here is reeling one in.
Want to feel it?
It's just a little one though.
Yeah, I don't.
Go over here, go.
Feel much. I'll drive straight.
Yeah, it's still there.
Okay. Keep reeling, honey. Is it too small, I wonder? Do I get the net? He's letting mine run. Better get the net. No, what a mess. It literally let its bowels go.
That's Bella food right there.
We got the brand new washer.
That is so disgusting. With chunks. With the bonka.
Right there.
Okay.
Let's
slimy.
Yeah, we gotta get the sprayer.
2009 sprayer.
All right, as you can see, we got a bloody mess. We kept a little pink for the dogs, for some dog food. And we got that thing pumping away.
Rinse down the blood.
Oh.
Blood everywhere.
Still gonna need a rag for some of it, but
Yeah. Sure takes off a lot of the blood though. It's everywhere.
Blood on.
Oh yeah.
works pretty good. Yeah. Look at my beautiful wife. She's helping me clean the boat. We just caught one little salmon here, and so this is much better. All right, here we are. That's how far it goes. It's got some decent pressure. Kids are gonna have fun with that. Okay, well, I cleaned up the boat real nice. Quite happy with it. It's shut off now that it's got the pressure built up in it. So basically, to get the pressure built up in it, you've got to use it. and once it does that, it has an automatic shut off. It does shut off. And so yeah, we just landed our second fish in the boat, and as you can see, it's got some good pressure, so we're quite happy with it. And instead of letting the blood dry to your boat, this thing will just rinse it off and you just bilge it out. So me and the wife were out here fishing away and having a great time with the kids. So yeah, anyways guys, I hope this video was helpful for you. I'm probably going to put a switch in eventually, but I think I need to buy a little more expensive kit or switch for it. But it seems to be working good so far, and we'll see what we can do about getting the switch put in later. So anyways, thanks for watching guys, and be sure to subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below, and I will definitely answer any questions you have. So thanks for watching.